Hi, everybody. Welcome to Take Your Medicine. I came back to sorry, baby. Same spot as I was at last episode. Um, because I cannot get enough of this weather, the sunshine, the ground, the scenery. It's so beautiful. So I figure whenever I can, I'll get out to the desert. Plus, I feel so much more connected when I am outside. It's incredible um, how quickly I start to feel the spirit of everything around me. I'm so grateful. So, today is the 50th episode of Take Your Medicine, and I feel kind of bad that Billy's not here to celebrate with me, but we're halfway to our goal of 100 episodes this year. Definitely more than halfway through the year. But I have to say, I'm really proud of myself, and I'm super grateful for everything that doing this show has taught to me. It's opened up a lot for me, both in the work I'm doing with other people and also just in the aspect of stepping into vulnerability and courage. Courage is such an overlooked and totally vital aspect of growth and happiness. Courage, I think of the lion, and I am a Leo. Courage is a gateway opener, a portal opener. Ooh, I like that. You know, courage brings life so much joy. It brings color because it brings us new opportunities, just stepping outside of our comfort zone. I've always told my kids growth happens outside of the comfort zone. Outside of the comfort zone is where courage is. The full moon last night was amazing. So beautiful. And I was like, what is that dark spot on the top left corner of it? So then Iggy sent me a picture, and she lives in Utah, and she had the dark spot, and I was like, what the fuck? You have the same dark spot. And I was like, oh, it's an eclipse. Silly. I didn't realize. But I started my moon on the full moon, and I love that. I feel like women are like the moon. I feel like I saw a TikTok or something about this, but it's like we are constantly changing. Sometimes we are a sliver, sometimes we feel full. And it's about letting go of the shame of every part of that cycle, because when we're a sliver, there's a lot to learn. And I remember AJ giving the most beautiful speech lecture to Anthony. It was like a year and a half ago, but it was about Anthony had asked a question about women's periods and what it was or whatever. And AJ went into this beautiful lecture about how women's cycles help move evolution along. They literally help us progress as a species. And they allow for us the rawness and realness of really being forced to kind of look at things, the things that we're able to ignore the other 3 weeks out of the month. They come to the surface. And when things come to the surface, they are released. Things get better, things improve. We communicate or we don't. And then we learn from that. But I've come to be really grateful for my cycle and appreciate everything that it brings, although sometimes I just forget I'm a total raunchy B word, but you know, there's value in it all, Jesus Kate says. And I just think that when we slow down enough, and sometimes even our menstrual cycles help us to do that because we're cramping too bad to do anything but just stay in and eat ice cream and use an ice pack and a heating pad. We slow down, and you slow down enough, just like Jesus said, like, look at the flower. What did he say? I don't remember. It was like something about looking at a flower and knowing everything you need to know. It's like we were at Butterfly Wonderland recently, just the other day, and just looking at the butterfly, and we watched this 3D movie about the journey of the butterfly. I didn't realize butterflies do not come out of cocoons. They come out of chrysalises. Moths come out of cocoons. So looking at these butterflies, they're like landing on us. It's so cool. And it was my baby girl's birthday, so it was extra special. And you slow down enough to realize like there is an intelligence here, and what in the world is causing this metamorphosis that is your magic, and how do they find the milkweed? I mean, they can only lay their eggs on milkweed, and they travel all the way from Canada to Mexico, and they find the milkweed, and they lay billions of eggs, and only 1% survive. It's pretty interesting, but I haven't met the butterfly collective specifically, but I have met an insect collective and the scorpion collective and the mantis being collective. And every time I see the smallest little thing, I slow down enough to even look at a flower and realize, wow, this thing has like sex organs, and there's so much happening. It has cells, and it is sentient. It's scientifically proven. And you realize that everything is in harmony. It's intelligent. Everything has intelligence. And it's like you have these journeys, and you start to see the trees breathing and interacting with you, and you start to get a sense of like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, and everything is connected. But then you start to meet the spirit of these nature beings, the spirit of the rattlesnake, the spirit of the tree, the spirit of a rock, of water, of the wind, of an orange, and you start to interact with it as consciousness, and you realize, oh my God, I am inseparably part of this. And there's a way to get to that part of you that is as pure and joyful as a baby, that expresses their needs, just cries it out, just like a baby when you have a need, without fear, without hesitation. You become like the little child, and everything is joyful and everything is magical and everything is interacting with you. So beautiful. And everything is amusing, and there are no more questions, but never ending curiosity. I feel so grateful to have been guided to medicine work. And I was terrified. I was so scared. I was having full-blown panic attacks in the days before I sat with ayahuasca. And my left wrist swelled up to the point where it looked like I had like a baseball size situation. And I went to the urgent care the day before I left for my ayahuasca ceremony. And they said there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just super inflamed. And I knew it was my fear. I knew it was everything that was about to release out of the left side of my body. I knew I had to just push through, but oh my God, I was so fucking scared. I was going by myself. I have separation anxiety from my family. Anyone who knows me knows that. You know, I'm about to go to Cancun with my husband, and I'm just trying so hard to prepare to be fully present and not just freak out because I'm not near my kids. Because it has been a really, really long time since AJ and I have just gotten away together, just the two of us. So super grateful. But wow, the medicine work is terrifying. The first time I took mushroom medicine, I was with AJ and we were at a hotel room in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it was the first time I ever noticed that the trees and the plants and everything was breathing and working together and interacting with each other and helping one another. And I just could not. I remember AJ wanted to be in the hotel room, and we had this nice little balcony overlooking beautiful landscaping, just gorgeous, you know, a saguaro and some trees and some beautiful shrubs and flowers. And I could not come inside off that balcony for 5 or more hours. I was just completely in awe and taken by everything I was witnessing. I was noticing that this tree was leaned over. It would be cool to go back to that spot. I bet AJ remembers where we were. But this tree was like leaned over this little shrub, and it felt obvious to me that this tree was just like protecting and looking out for this little shrub, and it made me so happy. I was like, I feel like that's on purpose. And then I started seeing more things like that, and I couldn't unsee it. They're so awesome. You're the best. And so be brave. Be brave, but don't be stupid. I was with somebody in Sedona for a session recently, and they climbed up one of my favorite trees that is like a big granny. She's so awesome. And every time I take my shoes off, I take my backpack off, I give her all of my presents, I give her huge hugs. And this person I was with for a session was climbing her, and he was getting pretty high up there. And so I felt like she said through me, like, you be careful, I can't save you from your own stupidity. And that's a message that these beings give a lot, is we cannot make your choices for you. Agency is such a powerful and important principle of this experience that we've chosen. Thank you, water. When I'm channeling, even if it's just mild like this, water is like a conductor. It's so good and so powerful and so intelligent. And we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. So beautiful, water, water. Forgot what I was talking about, but I wanted to go back to bravery and not stupidity. Oh, and that big granny tree. Oh my God, she's so huge, and she must be ancient. Oh, she goes up and up and up and up and up. She feels so good to hug, like a giant dinosaur. I feel like I can call her in, and she can clear my energies, and it's such a blessing. I love them so much. And I've been working with them for so many years. And so I love to bring people to this specific spot for sessions, because it is a sacred spot for me and for my family. We have so many beautiful family memories there. Thomas absolutely loves Buddha Beach, and all of us do. And it's such a special place. And I have been there many, many times, working with medicine and just by myself, and have experienced so many cool things through the trees. Oh my gosh, so many lessons, so many blessings, so many healings. And then I've brought people for sessions, and the trees channel through me there, because I mean, it's just so easy and so fluid, because we have a relationship, and I love them so much. Anyway, back to the message of the big granny tree. I can't save you from your own stupidity. And that comes across as harsh, but really it's just, we have to really tune in. And medicine work helps us clear out so much so that we can slow down and tune in to the intelligence around us. These beings, a little fly, a bee, oh my God, the bee technologies, wow. They're not just flying, it's not even possible. I think it's been like scientifically proven that it's not possible for a bee's body weight and the tininess and size and shape of the wings for it to even be able to fly. Somehow they use frequency. And when you put that frequency near a tray of sand, it makes a honeycomb shape. So where do we get the honeycomb shape? One of my children, we had a bonfire on the celebration of the tree's anniversary, first anniversary, and we had many, many beautiful spiritual things happen that night. It was so cool. And one of those things was one of my children having, he was young, and out of the blue, he was channeling and saying, "Mom, you're a god and I'm a god, and we're all gods." It was so beautiful. But he needed grounding, and I was telling him, like, it's okay, Yes, yes. And he said, "I'm seeing bees," and I think he said honeycomb shape. I wrote it down in my journal. I'm almost positive, but I'm pretty sure he said honeycomb shape, but they were swirling around a light. And the intelligence, there are collectives. I just didn't understand what these Native Americans or shamans said about the spirit of the trees, the spirit of the insects, the spirit of the lion, the spirit of the bear, the medicine of these things. And then after many, 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 many medicine journeys, familiarizing myself with friends on the other side, I was introduced now in the last few sessions to beautiful nature spirits and collectives. And it's so cool to experience. All of a sudden, all you can think about is birds, and you feel like a bird. You feel the energy of feathers, and you're just like, what the fuck? Then all of a sudden, the entire room is filled with birds, and mostly peacocks and owls, but birds of all kinds too, just colors on colors. And all of a sudden, I just know, I have a knowing, and I'm like, the bird collective is here, and we honor you and we thank you. And then they proceed to teach about what their purpose on this earth is, as symbols and guides and mediums, and even part of the food chain. And they love to be seen, they love to be useful. The colors, the name of the birds. The next morning, AJ and I went to, after I met the bird collective, we went to the Buddhist temple in Sedona. And oh my gosh, there were these blue birds that were so stunningly beautiful, and they kept moving around us. So we're like, okay, let's look this up. And so we used like the Google photo thing or something. I don't know. AJ was looking it up on Google, and he's like, it's a mourning dove, mourning. The next day, one of my kids, we were at Buddha Beach, and he said to me, "I saw the coolest bird yesterday," and I looked it up. It's called a mourning dove, mourning. He's like mourn. I was like, wow, that's amazing. The bird collective. And then they show you synchronicities. Shortly after that, my best friend Iggy told me of a story. I think it was it was as we were pulling into Buddha Beach, I saw her voice memo. And so I played it as we were driving into Buddha Beach. So right before my son told me that he had looked up the mourning dove, Iggy sends me this voicemail that says, my friend had this whole experience with a bird and it being a symbol, and it was someone who had just passed, and I don't want to give too many details, but it was amazing. The birds were coming through and just letting us know, like, hey, we're here. And so when you realize that everything has consciousness, everything is intelligence, everything has spirit, everything is alive, everything is breathing. It makes you want to do whatever you got to do to just feel at one with it and feel at home and just feel at peace and harmony. And what a gift and blessing to be able to clear out enough that you get to see and commune with and experience our loved ones on the other side. What a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing. I'm so grateful. And I am so grateful to get to watch and witness and experience other people doing the same work and having similar experiences and just coming to this point of surrender and letting go and saying, life is supposed to be up and down. There is value in all of it. I had a note sheet, but I didn't really use it today. It's the 50th episode. Ah! I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone who has watched any part of any of these shows. Thank you for holding space for me and supporting me. Thank you for commenting and liking and sharing. It means the world. Thank you, Jesus Kate. Thank you, Ebert. Thank you, all of my loved ones on the other side. Thank you, trees. You're so beautiful. Thank you, cacti. Thank you, rocks. Thank you, earth. Everything likes to be thanked, even our water in our water bottle. And it's just good to slow down and just realize that everything is alive and we can thank everything, our shoes, our cars. And in the Eastern culture, so much of the time, that reverence hasn't been lost. These tribal cultures, this isn't new information. This is forgotten information. And I believe that the Buddha and Jesus were saying very similar things. The kingdom of God is within you. Every bit of heaven, every bit of hell, every God is within you. I wish I understood it fully, but I don't think we're meant to. And I do think I'll get more answers as we go. But eat more vegetables and fruits. You're literally ingesting cosmic energy, cosmic intelligence when you are ingesting fruits. Seeing a squirrel run by, it's so cute. But squirrel. I have been diagnosed with ADHD and MS and anxiety and depression. And I'm so grateful to have just found relief from literally all of it. Yeah. And now I get to watch other people find relief. And what a blessing that is. So thank you, thank you, thank you. 50 episodes. Let's give it a dang. If I can find my thing. Thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm super duper grateful today to just be receiving so much from life and from courage and from this work. So, love you all. I'll see you next time. Namaste.